Chicago. And our question today comes to us from Opal Adia, as did our question yesterday. But today's question is rather more complex. And Opal Adia actually asked this question on the Witch School forums, but I thought I would answer it here. And Opal Adia tells the story of a friend of hers in India who recently lost her mother. And her friend, in her deep grief, is searching for the reason for her mother's death. And Opal talks about the mother's having been in poor health for many years and having just finished an exhausting journey, but her friend is afraid that someone has done magic against her mother, causing her to die. And Opal wonders what can be done about this. And this is an issue that people are facing in many parts of the world today. Persecution of people believed to be witches is very high in places like Africa and is spreading through India and other parts of the developing world. And it's a matter of great concern to me and I think to all magical people. And at the heart of this question, really, is the question, what do we tell people who believe that they are the victims of black magic? One of the reasons that violence against people believed to be witches had decreased was the decrease in the belief in magic. But the belief in magic is coming back very strongly now, and we're one of the reasons for it. What do we tell people who believe this? Do we tell them that magic isn't real? Well, then we look like frauds. Do we tell them magic is real and run the risk of their believing that we're practicing black magic? That's rather dangerous. Do we try to tell them, as we commonly do, that magic is absolutely real, but we would never use it that way? Well, that's what we've been doing so far, and it's been fairly successful. Of course, it is true. In the Wiccan religion, we have strong teachings against black magic. And we believe that magic is used for self-empowerment and making one's own life better, for healing and for helping others. But certainly not everyone does that. And I think that our attitudes toward black magic are something our community really must look at. And how do we respond to these situations? In the past, as I say, the decrease in the belief in magic has done a lot to keep magic users safe from people who believe themselves the victims of black magic. But that's changing. And how do we adapt to this? Recently, there's been a huge issue in the pagan community over Z Budapest and her song, We All Come From the Goddess, in which she threatens to curse anyone who sings the song differently than she wrote it, specifically anyone who includes a paragraph to the god rather than the goddess. And this is very clearly an act of black magic. Some people in our community may not be seeing it that way, but anyone outside of our community absolutely will have no difficulty identifying it that way. And even if we now tell people we would never use magic that way, here is a very clear instance where a prominent member of our community is. And it's a very difficult situation. Years ago, when we first moved Witch School to Hoopeston, Illinois, we found ourselves in a very difficult city council meeting with a lot of very unfriendly people. And we tried to explain to them that our people believed in using magic for good things, would not use it for negative things. And we identified our people as Wiccans. And they pointed out that they had been online and joined Wiccan groups where people absolutely were using magic in a way that was trying to control others. Even the old adage of the love spell that you only do to bring perfect love and not on a particular person, they'd seen people trading love spells for particular people, and this was absolutely true. And that made it very difficult to answer. Had it been untrue, it would have been another matter, but our community is by no means cohesive. Now, our individual traditions are, and there are certain things that are widespread, but even something as simple as this is difficult to make a statement that is going to cover all eventualities, and difficult, therefore, to make arguments to people who do not know the community. And I know that the next time that I'm in that discussion about how our people would not use magic that way, this example is very likely to be brought up to me, and I find that deeply troubling. What do we do about this? What should Opal Adia do about her particular person? It's a hard question to answer, and I don't really have an answer at this time. It is something I'm thinking about, and I think you should be thinking about it too. For Opal, I think that probably the answer that was given to her on the forums from Reverend Phoenix is probably the best answer. Reverend Phoenix answered that grief is a matter of stages, and pointed out that her friend is in the state of denial and is basically denying that her mother simply died. And I think this is probably a good angle for her to take with her friend and share with her friend the literature about grief, and I think this will help. But for our community and how we deal with these things, it's a much more complicated question. So I hope that answers your question and gives you some food for thought. And until next time, may you blessed be.